Hey, who said I'm on CP time? I thought you was Miss Positive Vibes. Really? See how people do? They talk about you till you get here, and then they're like, oh, there she go, there she go. We can't say nothing. Anyway, hey YouTube. Hi everybody, I'm back with another video. And I think this one is really, really important. Okay. Um, I talk to women a lot, and as you guys know, and the conversations a lot of times kind of shift towards finance and I'm working, but I want a man to help me with my bills. So I think that's how a lot of women um, get into being a sugar baby. And I know some of you guys are from the group, so if you guys will put a message in the group and say, hey, Mickey's live now, I would appreciate that because I totally forgot that. But anyway, so I think it's important to talk about finance and talk about money because a lot of women have no concept of what it means to be financially stable, what it means to have your finances and everything in order. In order. Um, so I want to, first of all, let me give you a little bit of background about me. I love money, of course. As y'all know, money is bae before anyone and anything else. Um, but I grew to love finance and I started to be interested in finance because I was working and I was working so hard as a medical professional, and I didn't feel like the money that I was bringing home was indicative of all the work that I was doing. So I was working harder than I was earning, basically. And I'm like, okay, I'm sick of this. I mean, I know what I'm doing is service and all of that, but I need some dividends to reflect all this work I'm putting in. So I made changes so that I would have more time available for my children, for my child at the time, and then eventually for my children. So I said, okay, what can I do? So I went to school and I became a realtor. And then I realized that being a realtor was not my cup of tea because I'm a very decisive person and I know what I want. And people who are wishy-washy, really, I can't, it's hard for me to interact with and do business with people who don't know what they want, basically. And as a realtor, you're basically helping people learn what they want by showing them houses. And I was like, heck no, this is not for me, you know. Then I hooked up with this investor and saw his check versus my check, and I was like, what the crap? So now I am a real estate investor. That's what I do. So with that comes learning how to manage the money because you do get lots of money, especially if you start to be successful. So then you have to learn, okay, what do I do with all of this? And I wanted to make this topic because a lot of women are, they want to be a sugar baby to help with the bills. They want to be a sugar baby to help with the bills. They want to be a sugar baby because I have this dusty man and I'm trying to leave and I want to level up in my life. But a lot more than I even care to share. A lot of women want to be a sugar baby just so they can be like the women on Love and Hip Hop, or the women that you see on TV, images of women, wearing Louis Vuitton, and women, going on shopping sprees and taking trips and all that stuff. But there is no plan for what to do with your future. What are you going to do with this money? Okay, you're a sugar baby, you've gotten a sugar daddy and he's giving you money. So now what? Or you get your tax return money. So now what? Um, I've had instances where I'm speaking with a woman and, okay, well, my tax return is gone because I thought when I gave it to Lamontre around the corner, he was gonna flip it and give me some more. So I think a lot of the ignorance as far as women is concerned, where money is concerned, comes from the idea that, oh, I don't deserve to have this money. When you understand that money is just an energy, a frequency. It's an exchange of energy. You did this work, so I'm gonna pay you this money. Or this is a product I want, so to match the frequency of that product, I'm gonna have to bring some paper that matches it. So a lot of women don't get that. They're living, they're surviving. They feel like I have to do something to deserve this money. I have to do something to for somebody to give me that money. And I'm here to tell you that you don't. You don't necessarily have to do anything. Women need to understand that there's a smart way to make money and there's a hard way to make money. Working smarter will get you more money. For real, think about it. The hardest working people in our society do not make the most money. There are people that are building train tracks right now, probably making minimum wage, if that. There's coal miners out there working super hard, to get their money, but they don't have anything to show for it. The people who are making the most money are the smart ones. The people who might not necessarily be the nicest people. They might not necessarily be the most caring and giving and loving, but they're smart, and that's how they make their money. They make their money by having a plan, by being strategic about your plan and actually doing what you've planned to get yourself there. I know there's a lot of single moms that watch me. There's a lot of women who are single, period, with no children, and they have no clue what to do. I have had several consultations with women. Well, I wanna invest in real estate, and I wanna make money in my sleep, like you talk about, and I wanna do this and that. But then, okay, so we're having the conversation, and then they're like, well, I don't know what to do. What should I be doing? Well, what are the risks in this? And da 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 da. That's why, to be honest, to be 100% honest, I love to work with men. Men are so much less afraid of money than women are. Women are like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to calculate that in. And what if I never get this money back? And, a lot of women live in fear where money is concerned. And I think it's because it comes from a lack of self-esteem. When you just get cut through all of that crap, it comes from a lack of self-esteem. If you are afraid to talk about money, if you're afraid to have discussions where money is concerned, if you're afraid to even learn about how to make your money grow, then you are coming from a place of, I don't deserve this, or that's good for you, but I don't think it's possible for me. You know what I mean? So I think we need to figure out as women, why don't I feel like I should be a successful entrepreneur? Why don't I feel like I can be a successful sugar baby and require men to take me out on a date and spend actual money on me, as opposed to saying, oh, I can take you for drinks or coffee? When we as women cut through all of the BS that we've been told and say, okay, I deserve to be able to go on trips. I deserve to be able to, have my life funded. I deserve to be able to for all of my heart's desires to be accomplished. I deserve to have that right now. Not when I make it to heaven, the pearly gates, and oh, I'm gonna, I'll be happy when I get over there. You can be happy now. You can make wise decisions with your money now that will help you and benefit you later in life. So let's talk about the wives. Have a lot of wives who don't even want to know anything about the finances. Nothing. I don't want to know. I don't need to know. That's my husband's job. And that's cool until Richard gets in a car accident and dies, and now you're here by yourself and you don't even know, if you were paying the lawn people. You have some women who are like, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick up a second job so that I can work on leveling myself up so that I can get a sugar daddy. But when all you've done is compounded the problem, you want to stop working, so you're going to get an additional job that's going to take up even more of your time. And then you're not going to have time to even go seek or even be seen by a potential sugar daddy or man, you know. Then you have the women who are Bob the Builder chicks, which I am formerly a Bob the Builder chick, who say, okay, this guy makes an okay living. I'm going to take my money, put it with his, and we're going to build an empire together. We're going to do this together because you can have more with two than you can with one. You know, that was me, you know. So there's a lot of different categories that women place themselves in as far as money is concerned and how they go about getting it. But I feel like at the core, at the bottom of all of this, it is at the core, at the bottom of all of this is self-esteem. Do you feel like you deserve for your children to have, you know, endless shoes, or do you deserve to have take your baby on a trip and, you know, spend whatever money? Do you deserve to have, you know, weave all the weave you want or whatever your goals are? Do you deserve to have that, you know? And also there is a set of women who get hung up in the weaves and the weaves and the purses and all the labels and stuff like that. They get caught up in that. So there's a book that I read called Richistan, Richistan, and it goes into and it delves into the lives of the extremely wealthy. And it explains how they live, how they have butlers, how they have nannies, how they have, you know, go on vacation 3 or 4 times a year, how they are, you know, it explains how they're living the lifestyle. I think it would benefit a lot of women to actually read this book, get it on audio book, read it, sit down with a copy of it, something, a Kindle, something, so that you can get an idea of what it's like to be rich, what it's like to be carefree. So many women get caught up in I think the whole feminist movement, and the I can do everything a man can do. I'm a woman. I'm strong. I can hear me roar and all that crap. I think that really shot us in the foot as a whole, as far as women are concerned, because now women feel like, you know, I'm not weaker than a man. I can do everything a man can do. You know, why can't I have it all, you know? And I'm like, that is so backwards. I'm not as strong as a man. I'm not, you know, I don't know any woman in my entire life who is just as strong as a man. Honestly, if my house was burning down, I would want a man fireman to come rescue me before I sit up there with a woman. What you gonna do with me? You know, you can't pick me up and I can't pick you up. You know, we gonna just look at each other and be scared together? No, I want a man to come pick me up while I'm, oh my God, my house is burning down. You know, while I'm crying and stuff, I need you to come over here and help me, scoop me up, you know, come get me. I hate women police officers. It's just, get away. When I see it's a woman coming to my car, I roll down the window with my license and registration, because like, oh, I know you finna give me a ticket, you know, because that type of woman has both, you know, the masculine, and she has the power of a man, but she also has the feminine on her side. So she's really crazy, you know. So I just think that there are certain things that a man should do and there are certain things that a woman should do. But hear me now. A woman should be smart and should be savvy where finances are concerned. Where finances are concerned. You need to be able to know where your money is going. You need to be able to know where the bread and butter is coming from. You need to be able to know, okay, if I invest in this piece of property, what's my return on it? You know, okay, this man is going to give me $2,000 this month. What am I going to do with it? Are you going to get 2 wigs with it? Or are you going to stack that? Are you going to go get 2,000 more from this one to add and make that 4? Okay, now that I have 4,000, what am I going to do with it? You know, can I get that from 10 different people? And then now I have 40,000. So now I'm able to invest in a piece of real estate property, you know. And I'm speaking on real estate because that's what I'm familiar with. You know, you can invest in stocks and CDs and gold and, shoot, you can invest in a weave company if you want to, and some hair, you know. There are several different avenues that you can invest in, but you need to be thinking about your future where your money is concerned. If you're only thinking about today, and if you're only satisfied with the space that you're in now as far as your money is concerned, you're going to be exactly where you are next year. And then you're going to be there the year after and the year after. So you need to really think about what you're doing with your money. Why am I not doing anything with my money? If you have several thousands, hundreds of thousands even, if you have several thousands of dollars in the bank, why is it just sitting there? Why does your money not have velocity? What is the velocity of money? Why is it not moving? Why is it not, you know, making you money? How much money is your money making while you're saving it in the bank? You know, think about this stuff. These are things you need to be thinking about as a woman, because the chances of, say you get married, okay, the chances of your husband dying before you do is super high. Most men die before women. So there's going to come a time when you may be by yourself and you don't know what to do with the money. You don't even know if you have any money. So just be aware of that. Take into consideration, you know, investigate. What am I doing with my money? Why is it just sitting here? Why am I not moving it? Why is it moving? You know, what is my return? Call the bank up and say, hey, how much am I earning on my money just having it sitting in the bank? Okay, then ask questions. Okay, I'm earning 0.2% in the bank. So what am I going to do to make sure, to ensure that, hold on, let me see. I'm seeing some comments. So what am I doing to make sure that I'm going to be making money with my money? You know, so think about that, ladies. Think about it. Think very seriously about where your money is going, and think about how it's affecting you. You know, you can't just think of today and then only think of today and then expect results tomorrow or yesterday. The title of the book is called Richistan, Richistan. And it really puts your mind on a different, because you can't unknow something. Who is Lisa? And what's the big deal? Once you understand what you're doing and how you're, you know, how that, what they're doing in the book, once you understand that there is a different way to live your life, once you see that you don't necessarily have to go to work every day and strive and strive and strive, once you understand that you don't have to keep your money in the bank, you know, once you understand that there's other things that you can do with your money, then start making those changes. Start building wealth as opposed to building your freaking purse collection or something, you know. That's just, you know, that's just asinine to think, you know, oh, well, I got a Louis bag and it keeps its value. Okay, that's good, you know, but so does money. You know, you're never going to lose investing in real estate. You know, you're never going to lose because there's no more land. You can lose. No, let me clarify. You can lose money in the real estate market, of course, because it happened a few, like 10, 20 years ago or whatever. It did happen and it will happen sometimes. But you're creating all this stuff, but you don't have anything for down the line. That's what I'm saying. Stop being afraid to have these conversations. Stop being afraid to ask the questions. Stop thinking that there's only one thing that you can do. What other ventures would you suggest other than real estate? I don't know. You know, I feel like stop thinking, let me complete my thought. Stop thinking that there is just only this to only today, there has to be more than just this. If you do have money, stop being scared with the money. Try doing other things, investigate, do your research, figure out, what you can do with it, and then go from there. Would I suggest anything other than real estate? I have other investments. I have some, I do have a diversified portfolio of investments. As far as gold, I've invested in silver, I've invested in startup businesses, I've invested in, of course, other real estate projects other than my own. So I do have I do have other avenues, but real estate is my niche, I think, and I feel like it's the safest for me because I've learned the real estate game, and I have become successful in doing it. So that's where I'm comfortable. I mean, but I have branched off, but I don't want to invest in stocks because it's too up and down, up and down. You're going to be able to tell when the real estate market bottoms out or flops. You'll be able to tell. But you'll be able to tell. And so I think it's safer for me. Like with stocks, you don't know. You go to bed and then you wake up and all your money is gone. Like I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. So I think real estate is I found my sweet spot here. And I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to build a substantial income with what I'm starting now, because I'm training my sons behind me. My son is going to business meetings with me. He's learning the business. He's learning how to speak when we're talking about these things. He's learning how to manage. He's been sitting at the management company that actually handles our rentals. So he's learning how to talk to tenants. So I'm grooming them to take over the business. So I know, by the time he's old enough and able to do it, he'll probably be able to, take his phone and zap himself to Austria somewhere and check on the property there or something, so yes, I think that the plan that I have, and I'm nurturing it and growing it and building it, is this is a good get to start. I had 5 figures. I had 5 figures to start with, but I think that being low key with your money, stop posting on Instagram everywhere you go, if you want specific questions as far as okay, so because I knew people were going to ask this. If you just want like a general figure, you can invest in real estate with about 10,000. Will you have a super large return? Will you be able to see like, ooh, I'm getting a lot of money out of this? No. Will your money be making money while you sleep? Yes, but it won't make you a substantial amount of money. But your money will create velocity at that point, because you can take that 10 and turn it into 20. Or, okay, let's say 15 to be, basic. You can take that 10 and turn it into 15. Take that 15, turn it into 30, flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it, and your money is compounded and it grows at that point. So, like I was saying, delete this video. A decent attorney will be able to find your assets. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm making this video because a lot of women don't know what to do with their money. They don't know what to, they have no concept of what to do. Like people are, what about Bitcoin? Well, what about, they haven't researched and they don't know. So I'm coming to you as a woman who has a successful business. I have men that are investing in me. I have a husband who is paying the bills. And, I'm saying that, what I'm saying is, this is the whole point of the video. This is the whole point of the video. This is the whole point of the video. Stop putting everything, why people want to know where I'm at? You know, stop putting everything that you're doing on the internet. People don't need to know where you're going. Stop telling, I know you're talking about my husband's divorce attorney will be able to find this information. Okay, you know, I understand that, but I still think that it's powerful. I still think the information is needed. So I'm gonna leave it here. I probably will make some edits to this video, but I'm just saying, like, you have so many women, as soon as you get a little piece of money, you on the internet like, hey, I'm going to the Dominican Republic getting my surgery. You know, you're posting all this dumb crap, you know, and then be secretive with your money. Everybody doesn't need to know everything about what you're doing with your money. Everybody doesn't need to know that you know anything about money. Play dumb. You know, play dumb. Play like you don't have money. Play like, ooh, girl, I'm broke. I don't even know, you know. That's good. It's good. You made money. But yeah, make moves in silence. Everybody does not need to know what you're doing. Like, stop being so, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just like you guys. Like, I don't have to put my bank statements up here to let y'all know that, ooh, I got money. For what? First of all, I don't know any of you guys, and I don't really have anything to prove. You know, I don't. So stop getting your ego feeds off of the likes and the comments that you get on the internet. Get your ego feeds from how many zeros you can keep adding to that account. Get your ego feeds from how many stacks you can keep putting in that safe. Do that is all I'm saying. Yeah, you don't have to tell your husband nothing. Why are you so annoying, guys? You're not trying to learn. Is that you? File separately. Basically, I'm cheating on him pretty much, yeah. Your POT called you assuming by mistake last night. You text, I'm at the gym, are you okay? As he never calls. I had, now be 24 hours, no response. I have plans with my sugar daddy tomorrow. I mean, okay, 24 hours, maybe he was busy. You know, maybe he had other things to do. Yeah. You need to put your company out on social media to promote the business. People can go to your website and see how much you charge, and it's in the thousands. The thousands is not really a big concern, especially if it's like 10 or 15. Nobody's gonna sue you for 15 grand. You know, it's people want more than just that. So if you don't have a whole lot of money, it's not really anything to be concerned about. But lie. There's always a way to lie. You don't have to tell the truth. It's my whole point in making this video. What can you do with 1,200? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. You can add more to that, but you know. Okay, Miss Creamy Snow. Where's my moderators? Y'all know I don't. You gotta go. I do have more to teach, but so okay, go ahead. So if you guys have questions about your money, what to do with it, blah blah blah. The books I recommended is Richistan, Richistan. How you know who not cheating? I don't. Your sugar daddy pays you weekly, and you still got a huge raise at work, and he doesn't know. There you go. You know, stack it, stack it, stack it. There you go, Richistan. Keep stacking your money. You know, if you if you're in a position where you're getting money from people, from, you know, men, from whoever, from your job, your tax return, your grandpa died, and you know, gave you a bunch of money. If you come into a bunch of money, you need to sit in it and figure out, okay, what am I gonna do? Why are you worried about my husband, little girl, or boy, or whoever this bright orange J is? You got to be broke worrying about my husband. Good grief. Lord. Anyway, the, I forgot. I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, I have a moderator. I actually have a moderator in here. But the whole focus of this video is to make sure that you guys are making very, very smart decisions with your money. So I could give you $10,000 and you could help me multiply my money, and I can give you a return. Because you have so many years on me and experience, I don't know where to begin. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have, I know I hate, and this is another thing. I really don't like to work with women because women are very afraid. Well, are you sure? Well, are you sure you're going to be able to give me my money back? Well, what's going to happen if blah, 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 blah? Well, what if this and what if that and blah, 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 blah? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to work with women. It's hard to be in a working relationship with women. I'll say that. So I normally don't work with women for that reason. I do have a couple of women who are clients, but I don't normally do that. Right? You have to. If you learn the basics, then you're good. But but you want to, I got my initial money for investing, for even starting on my real estate journey, I got from a family member, actually. You want to be a housewife, should you aim for a six-figure salary? No, because six figures is 100,000, which is not a lot to have a sugar daddy. So if you want to be a sugar baby, you need somebody who can actually afford one. So there you go. Yes, it does take a risk. Every investment that you make takes risks. Putting your money in a bank is risky. If you don't have the cash in your hand, you technically don't have it. If I go and I put $100,000 in the bank, it's going to take them a few minutes to get me my cash back. You can't just go to the bank and say, hey, can I withdraw all of my $100,000 that I have on the books here? They're going to be like, So think about it. That's risky. What if the bank doesn't even have that much cash on hand? They have to order the money from such and such and such place. So everywhere that you put your money besides in your house, in your hand, is risky. You just have to think about what are you willing to do with it? Right. If the system goes down, you can have zero money. If they accidentally make a $10,000 deposit in somebody else's account, they're up 10,000 and you're minus 10,000. So it's possible. It's possible. Who is this Stop the Violence? So I need Miss Stop the Violence to go do a video. I mean, thank you for the assistance, but hello, Michaela Pink. That's somewhere on here. Just saying. So yeah, invest in gold. I have invested in gold. I have definitely invested in gold. And it's, that's something that you can have that's a tangible asset. If something goes down and the banks crash or something, you still have this gold that you can turn into money. It's called a liquid asset. So your house is pretty much a liability. And your house is a liability because you got bills, you have upkeep, you have the lawn, you have all this other stuff. So your house is not an asset unless it is making you money. So rental properties would be considered an asset. But again, what I'm saying is you can take your money and do other things with it. Take your money and stop concentrating on being just simple minded. Expand your horizons. Read about money. Read about what people do with their money. Read about the different lifestyles people are living to open up your consciousness so that you can start to make this money, and you can start to get in the when you get in the frequency of money, then money automatically comes to you. Money comes to you easily when you're already thinking on these terms. A lot of people don't own homes, but home ownership is super easy. It's really easy. Once you get on the frequency of, okay, what am I going to, when I get the money, what am I going to do with it? When I get the house, how am I going to decorate it? Am I going to have parties? You need to work in order to level up. Not necessarily. No, you don't. Somebody needs to be working, but it doesn't necessarily have to be you, Miss Milan. Somebody got to have some money, but it doesn't have to be you. So yeah, just think about that. Think about it. You know, you don't, you can make money with somebody else's money. If you know your mom has inherited some money when your dad died, she's sitting on 200,000, let's say, over there. You can be like, Mama, let me get this money and use it and do something with it, because you just saving it for a rainy day. It's raining, boo-boo. It's raining today. How do you not work and level up? You need money. Somebody needs to be making money, but it doesn't have to be you. You know, if somebody is giving you money, there you go. It's technically yours, you know. And see, that's another thing. Well, I need to work. No, you don't. That's why I wanted to talk about this. That's why I stress leveling up. That's why I stress, you know, leverage other people's money. Leverage other people's knowledge. You don't have to know how to do real estate. You know somebody that does. You don't have to know how it's going to work. Let somebody know who does, you know, or get on their what is it? Coattails. Will you must have a cosigner to sign on properties if you don't work? No, you don't. No, you don't. So seriously, if you know your relative has money, ask them, hey, can I get about $50,000 so I can make these investments? You know, everybody knows somebody with some money. You know, maybe you know an old school teacher or something. There's always a way. There is always a way. You as a woman don't have to go to work and make money. You don't. You do not have to go to work to make money. There does need to be somebody with money. And if it's not you, that's okay. Figure it out. Ask questions. Stop being afraid. Like, well, I ain't got it. I mean, don't I need a job? Well, shouldn't I be doing something? No, you shouldn't. If you level up good enough, you don't have to do anything. I have some wholesales. I do wholesales when I want quick money, but it's a lot of work. You know, I invest, I loan money a lot of times and make money that way. So yeah. You have the internet, you have, you know, yes, exactly. You have so many different tools to, at your disposal that you're not using, you know, use them. We have books in the file section. We have sales books. We have books on what to do, how to get that, how to get this, you know. Leveling up just requires that you change your mentality, change your way of thinking, you know. There's a lot involved in leveling up. Okay, you're working. Okay, you have surgery and you can't work right now, and you're only receiving disability. Where do you start? You better start asking people who are actually have money. You know, if you know people who actually have money, you can start there. You know, or you can. I mean, I'm sure your money is going towards your living expenses and things like that. But there's always a way to get money. There's always a way to get money. You just have to get it. You know. So just think about what I'm sharing with you. Just think about it. You know, you don't have to be the worker. You don't have to be the real estate investor. You don't have to be the whale or the big person with the money. You need to be the one who is smart enough to get it. You know, you need to be the one that's smart enough to get it. I'm telling you to level up because you can stand on somebody else's back who's going to work and look pretty. He goes to get the work, you know, to work to get the money, and you utilize the money. So if you have $12,000 in your bank account, can I give you 10 to build my money? Yes, you've already asked me that. Keep making. Yes, I can. I've helped several people. You know, that's what I do. But the thing is, you know, again, I don't normally work with women because, yes, you can email me, message me, or whatever. But here's the thing. And this is another reason why I didn't want to make this video, but it was highly requested. The thing about, oh, Mickey, can I message you? I got some money, but, you know, can I message you? Yes, you can. You can message me when you're ready to invest. If you are not ready to invest, do not send me a message. When I say ready to invest, that means the money is liquid and you're ready to send. That's what because I don't have time to teach you the real estate business. I don't have time to sit. I'm not, Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams. I can't tell you everything you need to know about real estate before you send me your little money. I can't. What I can do is give you this piece of paper and sign it, tell you this is how much you're going to make, this is how much it's going to be, this is the increments that you're going to get it in. Here you go. That's what I can do. So just saying, don't send me 1,000 messages. Oh, I got some money. What can you do with this? No. If you're not ready to invest and you want real estate classes, Robert Kiyosaki offers wonderful courses that will put you right on in the game. Michaela Pink is not that one. Just saying. So keep that in mind, because if you want to know the ins and outs and what's going, I'm not going to do all that, So, yeah, that's it. That's the video. And what's the name? Oh, Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he's a mogul where real estate is concerned. He's very successful. And that's how I learned to be an investor and a lender where real estate is concerned. So yeah, your utilities is getting cut off Thursday. You couldn't pay the minimum by the deadline. Go ahead, baby. Well, get you some candles. All I can tell you, go take a bath at your mama's. Girl, there's a way. There's always a way. Just because they're turning it off doesn't necessarily mean that that's the, what is this, Colleen? What is that? A phone number? Just because they're getting ready to turn it off, girl, come on. For real, you better go shake a tail feather. Do something. It's sad. It's sad, but it happens, Did I learn everything from Robert Kiyosaki? Yes. Not about being a lender. I learned everything about real estate investing from Robert Kiyosaki. Yes. Yeah. Everybody need their rent paid. Everybody do it. That's why I give y'all the level up tips. That's why I tell y'all need to be trying to get your makeup and stuff together. Stop being out here looking basic. Stop walking around here like, oh, I'm just going to the store. I don't need to look like, okay. When you stop doing that, you can have somebody paying your rent and you ain't got to worry about it. I'm just saying, there's a bunch of different ways that you can have money, period. A bunch of different ways. Can I stay on longer? Do you have additional questions? Who is this? Bright Orange. Get off this video asking questions about stuff I've already talked about. Come on now. There's plenty of videos on here of me talking about all that stuff. For real. Oh, she's giving out somebody's credit card information? Girl, it ain't nobody with some real money. Colleen on here playing. Girl, please. Use that number if you want to. Come on, I'm trying to see the comments. Sorry. Yeah, but Mickey. Always asking for cash makes it obvious, so that's why gifts work. No, I don't need a gift. I don't want nobody to give me a gift for nothing. I have emergencies. No, you can't pay the people directly. You have to pay me. If you start dealing with whales, you don't have to worry about where the money, that's another thing. When somebody has money, they don't worry about money. Somebody with 10,000 is going to be scared to give me their money. Somebody that has $1 million, they're not going to worry about giving me 100. That's the thing. If he's a whale, he don't have to worry about, now I'm about to give you this 10,000. What you gonna do with it? Are you sure there's gonna be, you don't worry about that when you already have the money. T.I. said it ain't tricking if you got it. The gifts do make it less obvious, but I'm not going to the store. I don't need a gift card. I need some money because this money can be used for my children. It can be used for whatever, and I don't have to worry about, I need my rent paid. I don't have to ask somebody else to pay my rent because I need, because I have the cash to do it. So there you go. Your man friend zoned you, but wants to hire me or hook me up with his friends. He still wants to support me. Is that okay? Is it? Miss Opinionated Beach, is it? Your man is basically pimping you out. For real. Come on now. How do you ask a guy to give you some money on the second date? When do you know it's the right time to ask him for money? It's not what this video is about. How to get a rich man in New York. Move. Okay, scrolling to the bottom because none of these are pertaining to what this video is about. Okay, so the, sorry. Yeah. Hire you as an assistant to help him get acclimated. He wants you to be Bob the Builder. Again, is that okay with you? If you're okay with helping him build until he can get the woman that he finally wants, go right ahead. I'm not helping you do nothing. He's not your child. If he's not your child, you shouldn't have to help him, you know. Just is what it is. Are any of my SDs my clients? One of my SDs actually pays my business instead of, well, yes. We'll just say yes. How many ways can you make money? It's endless. It's endless. You used to be a pimp and you stopped when the internet got busy. Okay. You're unemployed. Should you focus on getting a job first for extra cash or sugaring? I'm not working nowhere, so I'm a bad person to ask us, should you go to work? Because I'm going to say no. If you're a woman, you shouldn't be working, period. What are the best investments for a 23-year-old long-term? Real estate, of course. That's what I've been talking about. That's what I would do. But that's what I know about. That's what I'm most comfortable with. So that's what I would do. You drive a Peterbilt truck. Okay, whatever. Good looking honky. People are the internet is crazy. But anyway, so I got a donation. I got a donation. I can't see it because my phone is sideways. What kind of donation did I get? Girl, I might stay on for some coins. Hello. Can I make a real estate video? Probably not. What's the real estate video? What do you want me? Oh, $10.99. Miss Maya. Hey, thank you. My first donation. Thank you. I don't know about making a real estate video because, you know, there's a lot involved. There's a lot involved. So probably not. I have $20. Ew. So yeah, come on, ask me money questions, y'all. What do you want to know? I have 20 bucks. I'm floored. Yay! My channel just got monetized yesterday. So that's another stream of income that I'll have, you know, with this. Will you donate to the lady who needs money since you have stacks in the safe? No. For what? I don't know her. Girl, please. No, ma'am. She better get to selling some pee-pee. Is she going to donate to me when my children over here hungry? No. How do you get people to stop calling you lazy? I don't care. I stopped letting it matter to me. I mean, I don't care. I do stuff. I just don't work, you know. How to make money on real short term without selling pee-pee? I don't know, honey. I don't know. I care about my viewers. I mean, okay, but what? Please, come on. How much money does it cost to raise a child? A lot. Y'all really, y'all know I have zero guilt. I could give a damn. Honestly, you know, where should you begin networking? In wealthy areas. How did you decide to quit and go into real estate since healthcare professionals? Healthcare professionals do not make money. They make money compared to people who are making minimum wage. But for the work I was doing, I was not being paid a lot. So I, you know, so I just, you know, I decided that it wasn't for me anymore. And I decided that, you know, it's better for me to make more money. You know, yes, I was making money, but I wanted more and I needed more. Right. I am not the godfather. Girl. Yeah, sell clothes, babysit, make some fish dinners. Girl, go ask the church, somebody at a church. You better get a Christian right fast. There's a bunch of churches giving money away. You know, it's not that I don't care, but I don't even know that lady. Girl, go sell some plasma. I don't know. Um, How much money should be coming in regularly to be considered investment worthy? I don't know. You don't have to have any money coming in regularly. If you get a chunk of money, that's good enough to make an investment with. You don't necessarily have to have, you know, large sums of money. Tried to make you feel bad because you left him because he was broke. You know, you had a 65-year-old man hit on you today right after. Okay. Yeah. Do a real estate. People are not going to pay for that. I'm telling y'all now, and people ain't even listening. I'm telling y'all for free, and people are like, girl, well, what about her husband? Well, will you donate to this lady? Her lights is off. Girl, I'm not going to waste my time talking to people who ain't going to listen anyway. Do you have fillers in your cheeks? No, I actually don't. My face is 100% real. Thank you. Do you feel those Robert Kiyosaki seminars are worth checking out? I took the whole shebang, and yes, it proved very successful for me. So yes, I do. How quickly did you first see a return on the investment when you first started? I invested my money and I made it back in 3 months. Yeah, you're trying to send one of the side hustle thingies that you have open in your browser. Thank you. Thank you. I look like a auntie. Hey, Miss Diamond. Tell auntie I said hey. Yeah. What should I do, Mickey? With what, baby? You have amazing bone structure, by the way. Thank you. You guys are nice. How long have you been in real estate? I have been in the real estate game for, what is this, 5 years, I think? It is a lot of eyeshadow. I agree. I like eyeshadow. So that's okay, Miss Bright Orange. I'm sorry, but you gotta go. I can't. You didn't work my last nerve for the last time. What's the least you can invest with? About 10,000. Yes. Told a girl today you need a rich man, and she looked at you crazy. Okay. Do you think anything about Jay Morrison Academy? Yes. Jay is a good friend of mine. I actually know him personally. He's a very good guy. Very good. How long was the course? It depends on how long you take the course. It depends on how long it takes you to learn it and actually replicate what they're teaching you. So you do it at your own pace, basically. But I think they give you like 2 years. But again, this was a while back. A while back. Yeah. If a man ain't rich, what is he good for? Question of the day. What do you think about duplexes? Very good first investment. Very good. Very good first investment. Why do you like pink so much? Because I'm a girl. Purple Rain. Why is your name Purple Rain? Really? Hey, from Lisbon, Europe. If a man ain't, okay. Would you buy a house as a single mom or just wait for a husband? Yeah, I don't see why not. It's a good investment. You know, you can always sell it. Should you get your cosmetology license or invest the money into real estate? Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to work? If you're investing in a job, if you want to work, then go to cosmetology school. If you want to, if you want to make money, then you would use it for an investment. But it really just depends on, oh, I got $5. Yay, Miss Taj. It really depends on what you're trying to do with your money, with your time, and all of that. So, you know. Tell them you had girls' night out. You sincerely believe the laws are too strict on men not talking child support. Okay. Yay. Oh, sorry, y'all. You told this guy you wanted more. Okay. I don't. What do you think about investing in real estate in Africa? Girl, I don't know. I wouldn't. I need to go see bouts and stuff, you know. Um, so I wouldn't want to invest that far away from me. Giving money for utilities really doesn't help the person. It doesn't, you know. Girl, I ain't even gonna talk on that. But see, okay, here's another thing. Women want to give. Well, don't you want to help? Well, she over there struggling. You guys have to realize everybody is out for their own best interest. Every person is out for their own best interest. Nobody is concerned with you, even your parents. If something happened to where they had to pay their bills or pay your bills, they're going to pay their bills. You know why? Because they're concerned with themselves. Every person is concerned with themselves. A lot of women get stuck. You know, oh, I'm leveling up. I want my friends to come with me. Oh, I'm leveling up. I want my mama to come with me. Oh, my neighbors, they all need to hear this information because it's helping me. No. Be about yourself. Be about yourself. When you take care of you, then you never lose. You won't ever be, if this person, whoever that person is, was taking care of themselves, then they would be in a better position today. You know, they would be in a better position today. I have done a couple flips. I have a couple flips. So yes, I do believe in flipping homes, but I just, if they thought more of themselves, then that situation would never have occurred. So, you know, self-preservation is the only way to go. But I wouldn't, you know, I don't feel sad about stuff like that. Where do you get the energy to juggle all this as a mom? I do it, my days are very scheduled, and I mean, I do consultations, I do real estate, I have sugar daddies, I have a lot, but it's easy really because I say no a lot. Just like now, I told my children, I'm making a video, so we will do what we're gonna do at a later time. Everybody is in their place and they know, okay, this is what is going to happen right now and this is what's not going to happen right now. So you have to prioritize, you know. Abroad real estate is a wonderful idea. Due to bad infrastructure. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking for questions. You have to turn that switch off. It's hard for me, but it must be done. Give them beneficial. Exactly. Will you start another channel about doing makeup? Oh, I might do that. Please talk about the importance of building credit. Having good credit. Some people think, right, having good credit is very important because especially, excuse me, I'm hot, especially in the real estate game, because you can, if you don't have the money, then you have the ability to go to the bank and say, hey, can I borrow $100,000 so that I can invest in this real estate deal? So good credit is definitely important. It is important. If you don't have good credit though, then you need to know somebody that does have good credit and you can leverage their credit, you know? So that's another thing, you know, you don't necessarily have to have good credit, but you need to have somebody in your repertoire who does have good credit and has the ability to turn that credit into some liquid assets. So yes, credit is important, but again, it does not necessarily have to be your credit. You've been told you're selfish, right? Me too. Your 98-year-old grandmother said the best life advice she could give me was love yourself first. That's right. Absolutely. Also, Section 8 homes. Is it risky to secure because of the government guarantees? No. I have 2 rentals that are Section 8. 2. Yeah, 2 rentals. There you go. Yep. So that is why don't you consider your investing company work? Because I don't consider it work because it's what I like to do. You know, it's fun. I move paper. I'm not, who is this, Max? Boy, you and everybody else, whatever. Um, I I move things, I move money from here to here. You know, I have a management company that handles my investments. I have, I have different avenues, to make money. So it's fun for me. Who is this? Somebody get that troll, Max. Gotta go. But and all these people talking all this Spanish and stuff. We clearly I'm from America, so whatever. Um, yeah. Okay, thank you. Who is this, Miss Soraya? I don't know what that is, honey. Your credit is fair and you're busting. You don't have to bust your ass to make it good. That's another thing. You don't have to work. You don't have to work to make your credit good. You don't have to do that. Um, my management company does screen the tenants, yes. You don't have to work to do anything. All you have to do is leverage somebody else's knowledge. Leverage somebody else's knowledge. That's what you need to do, you know? Um, she said, where am I from? Well, it ain't wherever she from talking all that. It ain't whatever country she's in, because clearly she don't understand me. Um, money and profit. Exactly. Money and profit. Work smarter, not harder. You don't have to bust your ass to do anything. As a woman, you definitely should not be busting your ass to do anything. But work on your makeup. Bust your butt and do that. When you're the boss, you work for you. Exactly. I work for myself, and I work when I want to work. Like now, I'm pretty much done for the whole entire year. I don't even have to do another real estate deal at all, really. You know. So it's in your savings, but it won't be affected by that. His pockets are deep, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, guys. So I was going to do a story time video after this, but it's getting dark. So I don't know, but I have a story time out of this world. Y'all, this story time is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Who is Sarah? Sarah, you done been on this channel long enough to not be playing with me. Ugh. You want to hear the story, y'all? Girl, it's a mess. I got to go put on some lipstick and get myself back together. But girl, this story time is a mess. This just happened. And I was like, y'all so messy. Y'all so messy. I always want to know some tea. Always trying to sip on something. Petty Betty. Girl. Okay, so that's the conclusion of this video. You guys, make sure you are making wise investments. Make sure you are utilizing the money you're getting from any source in the right way. If your money is not moving, if you just have a big old fat stack of money in the bank, you are not utilizing your resources effectively, and you need to think about other ways of getting that done. You need to think about how you can grow your money, how you can build for your future, how you can stack, So that's the video. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I hope you guys, the people that were listening, I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with people in your life, watch it again or whatever. And about to go put on some lipstick because y'all know I got to get together. And we're going to have story time after this. Real quick, a little snippet, but y'all already know it's going to be funny. So, see you guys next time. Bye. I can't get off the dang video.